Have you ever wondered why the government has the power to limit property rights? It's all part of a legal concept known as P.E.T.E. P.E.T.E. stands for police power, eminent domain, taxation, and escheat, which means the government promote the public interest and protect the welfare of citizens. Each aspect of P.E.T.E. serves a specific purpose in limiting property rights. Police power allows governments to regulate the use of property in order to promote the public good, such as protecting public health and safety or ensuring proper land use. Examples of police power in action include zoning laws, building codes, and environmental regulations. Let's say that a city government determines that a certain neighborhood is blighted and poses a danger to the health, safety, and welfare of its residents. In order to improve the conditions in the neighborhood, the city exercises its police power by implementing a series of regulations and ordinances. These might include requiring property owners to maintain their buildings to a certain standard, prohibiting certain types of businesses or activities, and imposing fines or penalties on those who violate the regulations. One specific example of a regulation the city might impose is a requirement that all properties within the blighted area be brought up to a certain standard of safety and cleanliness. This might involve repairs to the structures, elimination of hazards such as mold or pests, and regular maintenance to keep the properties in good condition. The city might also impose fines or penalties on property owners who fail to comply with the regulations, as a way of incentivizing them to take action. Eminent domain is the government's power to take private property for public use, with just compensation paid to the property owner. The government can use this power to acquire land for public projects like roads, schools, or parks. Let's say a state government wants to build a new highway and a portion of the land they need for the project is owned by a private individual. If the state cannot come to an agreement with the property owner to purchase the land at a mutually agreed upon price, they can exercise their power of eminent domain to force the sale of the property. The state would be required to provide the property owner with just compensation for the land taken, which is usually determined through an appraisal process. Taxation is the government's right to levy taxes on property owners in order to fund public projects and services. Property taxes can be used to pay for things like schools, roads, and other public services. Let's say you own a home in a certain county in the United States. Every year, the county assesses a tax on your property based on its assessed value, which is determined by the county assessor's office. The tax rate is typically a percentage of the assessed value of the property, and the revenue generated from the tax is used to fund local government services such as schools, police and fire departments, and public works projects. For example, if your home is assessed at $250,000 and the tax rate is 1.5%, then your annual real estate tax bill would be $3,750. The county would send you a bill for that amount, and you would be required to pay it by a certain date to avoid penalties and interest charges. Failure to pay real estate taxes can result in the property being seized and sold at a tax sale to satisfy the outstanding tax bill. Escheat is the government's power to take ownership of property that has no owner or has been abandoned. This is typically done in order to ensure that unclaimed property is used for the public good. For example, if a person dies without any known heirs and without leaving a will, their property would be subject to escheat. The state would then take possession of the property and try to find any heirs who may have a claim to it. If no heirs are found within a certain period of time, the state would typically sell the property and use the proceeds to fund government programs or other initiatives. So next time you're paying your property taxes or wondering why you can't do certain things with your property, remember that it's all part of the government's efforts to promote the public interest and protect the welfare of citizens.